This week on InsideRHAthletics, I'll sit down with Coach Henderson to talk about the boys' basketball season. Then we'll head to Micah for Player of the Week. After that, Ava will tell us about this week's Player Spotlight, and last but not least, we'll head to Daniel for Region Roundup. All that and more on this week's edition of InsideRHAthletics. What's up, Wildcats? Welcome to this week's edition of InsideRHAthletics. I'm here with Coach Henderson, the head coach of the boys basketball team. How's it going, Coach?
Great. Hey, thanks for having me again.
So, Coach, the season's come to an end.
It has, unfortunately, come to an end a little earlier than we were hoping for, but still had a great year. I mean, a lot of really positive things that we can build on.
Yeah. So, can you just sort of walk us through the last game against Buford?
Yeah. So we had to travel up to Buford, and they have a good team. They won their region. Coming into the game, they were 18-8. They had four really good guards and a post player inside. He's a big tight end that's going to play tight end at North Carolina. But our game plan going in was just try to slow the game down, turn it into more of a grind. That's kind of the way we've played all year. Game plan wise, we did what we wanted to do. Unfortunately, we didn't make enough shots. We ended up missing 18 shots in the paint. And when you go on the road and you're playing a state tournament, you've got to do a little better than that. So that was kind of our downfall. And then the big kid hurt us a little bit in the second half. But I was really proud of our guys. When we were down, we cut the lead to 6 in the third quarter. We just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah. So, but it was still an amazing season. So just sort of walk us through your thoughts on this season and, what everything was like through your lens.
Oh, I mean, it was a great year. I mean, obviously we wanted to win more games, but we lost 9 of our losses were by 6 points or less. So essentially we're playing in a lot of one-possession games that we ended up losing. But I think overall, just in terms of our program and the culture, this group has done such a phenomenal job of reestablishing a strong culture and laying the foundation that future years, I mean, we're going to see success next year and the years after that based off of what this group was able to accomplish. So I'm incredibly proud of what they've done, how they were connected, they were selfless, they were smart, they were super tough. And those are all things that we're going to build on going forward. Yeah,
so, you say the culture was so great. So would you say that the culture was, your sort of favorite part of the season?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this group they were so much fun to be around. I mean, great personalities, great attitudes. They worked hard, they pushed each other. I mean, as a coach, there's not much more you can ask for than a group that's going to show up every day with great attitudes and great effort. And I think the success that we saw was a direct correlation to that. But I mean, one of my favorite groups, and again, like selfishly, obviously we're upset that the season ends, but really, upset that our time with this group had come to an end because they were a lot of fun to coach, they were a lot of fun to be around. You could tell they enjoyed being around each other, and I hope they took some great memories from this year.
That's awesome. So, you say culture is your favorite part of, just like, the team, but what would you say was, the best part of the team actually playing basketball this season?
I think we were just so resilient. We were so tough, and I think towards the end of the year you kind of saw that teams didn't really want to play us because of the style that we played. We were really going to attack the basket. We were going to play strong physical defense. We were going to, do all the little things that we had to do right. And I think that, from a basketball standpoint, that was what led to the success that we had, was being able to get teams into kind of a grind. It's not necessarily super flashy, but we just had a really, really tough group, a really resilient group. Attack the basket, finish well inside, and those were things that I really enjoyed, or I saw as our strengths for this season.
Yeah, and obviously you want to carry that into next year. But, talking about what you think you're hoping to improve upon as we go into next year, what do you think that is?
So next year we're obviously going to have to limit turnovers. Turnovers were kind of our Achilles heel this year. We turned it over a little too much, and we turned it over in some bad times. So if we can limit our turnovers and shoot the ball a little better from the outside, a little better from the free throw line, I think that's what's going to really help us take that next step to going from 14 and 15 this year to 20 wins next year, competing for the region championship.
Yeah, I really think we're going to figure it out. So, Coach, do you have a specific player you want to shout out for this week's Player of the Week?
Yeah, we'll shout out Drew Nudo. That game against Buford, he played really well. He finished as our leading scorer that game, had assists, had rebounds, just played an overall really great game. And just throughout the whole year, we track a stat, it's called the VPS, it's called our value point system. He led our team in that stat, which essentially measures, your positives that you're doing divided by the negatives that you're doing. So he led the team, and actually it was, I went back and looked, he had the 8th highest VPS that we've had for a season since I've been tracking it, so for 14, 15 years. So he had a really great year in that last game against Buford. He did what he did all year. So Drew, really proud of you. Congratulations.
More on Drew Nudo on this week's Player of the Week.
For this week's edition of Player of the Week, here we have Drew Nudo, an RHHS senior on the basketball team, wrapping up his senior season.
After the 4 years I've been playing basketball here, I feel like I've become a better basketball player, well-rounded, and a better person.
Here, Drew talks about what it means to play basketball for him.
Playing basketball means to me is just playing your heart out, giving everything you got, and doing your best.
Next, Drew talks about his personal goals and his team goals that he accomplished over the season.
My personal goals was to get first team, but I got second team, which is good. Last year I got honorable mention, so it's an improvement.
Here, he tells us who he looks up to and inspires him over the season.
I look up to Darius Acuff. Even though he's in college, he still runs the floor pretty well, and he can get shots up when he wants.
Lastly here, he talks about playing at the next level.
As of right now, I don't have any offers, but if an opportunity presents itself, I would be glad to play basketball in college and give it everything I got.
I've been Micah Tomko, reporting for InsideRH.
Welcome back, now to Player Spotlight.
Griffin Spence is a senior on the bass fishing team and has been fishing throughout his entire life.
I started fishing, I would say, when I was like a itty-bitty grasshopper, probably about like 3 years old, say or so. I started fishing because my dad and my grandparents kind of taught me, and it's kind of stuck ever since.
With a successful season last year, he hopes to bring home more wins this season.
My goals for this season is definitely probably bringing home more plaques, I would want to say. Definitely catching more big fish, say or so.
With good placement already this season, Griffin looks back on his achievements last season.
In GSHA states, I placed 7th, and the other day in a BASS, I placed 4th.
Although fishing looks easy, preparation is a necessity to a successful season.
It takes a lot. You gotta have the boat clean, gotta put all your stuff, pack, all that, study, I'd say it takes a lot.
Reporting for InsideRHAthletics, I've been Ava Laidler.
Welcome back, now head to Region Roundup after the break.
Hey, Brandon, come on, get up.
You know that's not what robots we make.
Well, what do we make?
Welcome back, now to Region Roundup.
What's up, Wildcats? I'm WLS Lopez here with the Region Roundup for this week, so let's get straight into it. Starting with the girls soccer this week, we have Richmond Hill in first place with a score of 3-0. In second place, we have Lowndes with a score of 3-0 as well. Colquitt in third place with a score of 1-1. Camden County in fourth place with a score of 1-2. Tiff County in fifth place with a score of 0-3. And Valdosta in sixth place with a score of 0-2. And now we have the boys soccer team kicking us off with a good start as well with a score of 3-0. And falling behind is Lowndes in second place with a score of 3-0 as well. Colquitt County in third place with a score of 1-1. Camden County in fourth place with a score of 1-2. Tiff County in fifth place with a score of 0-3. And Valdosta in last place with a score of 0-2. Last but not least, we have the boys baseball with Lowndes in first place with a score of 1-0. Valdosta in second place with a score of 1-0 as well. Colquitt in third place with a score of 1-0 as well. And Camden in fourth place with a score of 0-1. Richmond Hill following with a score of 0-1 as well. And last place we have Tiff County with a score of 0-1 as well.
Well, that's all for you this weekend. Let's get back to the studio.
Man, I love spending time out here at this awesome park off my phone. But we have to keep it nice. There are so many things to enjoy here. From tennis to football to just a simple walk around the water. But in order to enjoy it, we have to maintain our spaces. Unlike these guys. Did you know that vandalism hurts our own community?
What's vandalism?
Vandalism is the deliberate destruction of property, including graffiti. If you are caught committing this felony, you can be arrested, serve time in jail, or be fined. I don't know about you, but destroying something in a park is not worth destroying my future.
We're gonna sing! We're gonna dance! And we're gonna act! But most of all, we're gonna be ourselves. Yeah!
Hey, give me your lunch money. No. Oh, really not giving me lunch money? Okay then. Hey man, are you okay?
I'm not okay. Actually, I don't hate him. In fact, bullying often stems from immediate control, which should come from feeling powerless at home. Children from troubled homes may witness or experience aggression, which could lead them to believe it's a normal way to interact with people. Bullying can be a way for these individuals to deflect attention from their own pain onto other people so they can feel better about themselves.
Welcome back. So Coach, to finish off this week's edition of InsideRHAthletics, sort of just, tell us what the next steps are in getting ready for next year.
So getting ready for next year, we've entered in off season. Some people look at it as the improvement season, and this is really where individually we need each player to improve. We've got guys in weight training. They've obviously got to get bigger, faster, stronger, either in weight training here at the school or on their own, and then just working on individual skill work. Working on their ball handling, working on their shooting, working on getting in shape. We'll come back together as a team in June, and we'll practice and play all of June, and then take July, they'll do their own thing, come back, school starts up in August, and we'll get it going for next October.
Yeah, I wish I could be there to see it.
Yeah.
That's all for this week's edition of InsideRHAthletics Wildcats. I'll see you guys next week.